Hey everyone, welcome to yet another Trash Unit Week at the Tuesday Newsday you all come to love. Hey Sinzar.
How are we doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. So, despite the units being trash, I'm very excited about this banner. I can't wait to talk about why.
Okay, let's get into it.
So, but first, to keep everyone on, a bit suspenseful, are you excited about the same thing that I'm excited about?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. This is going to be interesting. All right, but let's jump into it. So it seems like I actually missed this on JP. I miss a lot of things on JP, but it seems like we're going into like a pretty intense Final Fantasy X period, right? Like
Well,
we've already had two banners. This is now the third Final Fantasy X banner.
yeah, this is the last one, but thankfully, or unfortunately, depending on your viewpoint, but this is the last Final Fantasy X for ever until current JP.
And wait, but there is more in current JP?
No, there's not. That's what I'm saying. Like
Ah, okay.
this is the last one up to the current time in JP. They have not done it again since this event.
Yeah, but still, like we've had three banners back to back, coupled with a Vision World, coupled with a ton of different things. And I mean, depends on how you count, but I do know we also have a Final Fantasy X2 banner in the cards coming up pretty soon as well, probably.
Oh, I guess if you count that as Final Fantasy X, I guess it kind of is. You're
I mean, I
right. So
don't even count that as a Final Fantasy, but okay.
so there is more coming.
Yeah. All right. But okay, so this banner is the Kimari banner and the Ronzo Warrior Kimari. So it's a new Kimari, and those that have been paying attention have already seen that we can buy this fucker's like SDMR Moogle and shit, right? In the Vision World shop, isn't it?
No, that is for the 5-star Kamari. That is completely unrelated to the new guy.
Oh, okay. So we can't buy. Okay, sorry. Then that's just me being stupid.
No, it's
Anyway,
not. It's not because it in game it is mislabeled. It does say Ronso Warrior Kamari in game on the Trust Moogle. It
oh,
is
so I'm
not
not
for him.
stupid. Oh man.
No, they mislabeled it. It still works for the 5-star Kamari, but it will not work for the new one. It's a typo on the name only. It is still the 5-star Kamari's Trust Mogul. It is the name is being fixed in the upcoming May.
Okay, listen. I feel I am due 13,000 lapis and 150 pulls as compensation for this outrage.
We should definitely call the manager.
Yes, we need to call the manager. Okay, but back to the banner. It's a Final Fantasy X banner with Ronzo Warrior Kimari, the new Kimari, and Yunaleska, who's getting her NVA. Which also I know nothing about Yunaleska, but I'm a bit excited because she could be an evoker. So let's talk about it. But let's start about Kimari. So Sinzar, what are your honest feelings about Kimari as a unit?
He doesn't exist.
Is that good,
That's
huh?
that is. I mean, okay. You want me to give you the honest breakdown? He has a really bad SLB, which does magical damage, even though his stats are absolutely physical stats. He has completely gutter tier magic.
Wait, for real?
But
Because like one thing that's
yes,
weird,
sure.
and we should say about Kimari is that he actually has both magic attacker and physical attacker tags or traits, right? We call them traits. I
Correct.
don't. Yeah.
And he does have like passives and all for that, but his magic SLB is a 350x magical SLB, literal magic, so you can't imbue it. It is element locked to light element. Like I said, his stats are horrible. His magical stats are horrible. He has terrible flat stats. It's really, really bad. And then
And
he
how
also
does he
has
do physical?
physical.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You
Yes,
were about to say it.
he also has physical jump, which is locked to water. Once again, his even for physical, his stats are horrible. He has basically no flat stats, and his damage is horrible. He is going to be doing like think of a really old unit, less damage than them. He's really bad.
Okay. Let's take a bad mage like Renoa. I guess it hurts my heart to call her bad, but like Renoa, how would he stack up to Renoa with his SLB?
Actually, didn't even record his magic version because I calced it and it was so bad. It's like I'm not even writing this down.
Wow.
I only calced his physical damage and kept it. I calced the magical damage, but it was so bad that I erased it and didn't even keep it.
But I got a bit excited when you said jumper because jumpers are actually pretty fucking strong right now, especially if you have the setup for them, which mainly boils down to Ricard, STMR, and
Yes.
card. But like, so how does he clock in against old jumpers like fucking? Okay. Actually, you know what? How does he clock in against CB Noctis?
Okay, if we're going that far back, he's better than Noctis.
Okay. All right. He's better than Noctis. We have a baseline. But I'm assuming. So I'm gonna assume he's just worse, straight up worse than all of our current-ish jumpers, meaning Kane and onward.
Okay, let's see. Let's give an honest breakdown. Let's see. Let me adjust this real quick. Ronso Warrior Kimari. He does 15. That is comparable to. He does the same damage as Ricard, the jumper Ricard.
Oh, but that's not
Slight,
bad.
slightly less damage than Kane. When's the last time anyone has ever used Ricard?
Well, I mean,
Ever.
yeah. Okay. Yes, there are definitely better Okay, fine. I concede. I mean, I was under an impression it was going to be much worse. But like, if you pulled him on your new Smurf account, you wouldn't be sad because like Ricard level jump damage is still fucking good.
You would not be sad because that would mean you have his STMR to give to a better unit.
Okay. Let's get into that actually. Why people are actually, or why I am actually excited about this banner. So, as I understand it, this is the next wave of buffing Dragoons. We've talked about this in the past. He brings the next item that's going to make Dragoons OP by giving them modifier boosts to jump abilities, right?
Yes, and this will, technically speaking, boost up all the Dragoons like Mazurka, Ricard, Kane, etc., Roberta, and it will boost all of them. All of them are still going to be irrelevant. The only one it's going to bring to the point of being relevancy is Skye, and the reason is because Skye double dips on jump boost, and her intrinsic gives her enormous flat power and killers and all that.
Right. So this is kind of where the excitement goes because I saw some calcs on your sheet, Sinzar, that you pointed me to. You said like, "Hey, look at these future unit calcs," and like Skye with all the setup is
Yes.
actually going to do really fucking high damage, like really fucking high damage. JP meta today damage, basically.
Yes, and this is the second to last piece she needs for that full build. And with just this piece, well, plus the old stuff, I'm saying without the final piece coming later from Riku, yes, Skye can deal relevant levels of damage. She would deal somewhere close to around Balthier's the Balthier divided by 2 damage.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
So Skye can be relevant with not Auron, Kimari's STMR, and then once Skye eventually, if you pull forward, gets Riku's STMR, which is probably only like 2 weeks away, maybe less, then she's going to be really, really good.
Yeah.
Even though she can't get the 100% amplifies, she still carries her own weight because of the scaling she does with all the Dragoon stuff.
Wait, hold on. Now I feel like I missed something. You're saying she can't get... Oh, yeah, because Sylvie's an auto cast on the turn. Yeah, gotcha. Well, I mean, she can technically get the one before it, so she can still get a pretty high amplify. Like,
No,
is it 8? No?
No.
Oh, no, because that wears off. Oh, shit,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and all the other crowns, they're the same as Sylvie, right? Like, they're also the auto cast type.
The ones from JP are different. The JP ones, they are descending buffs, meaning they're 3 turn, 2 turn, 1 turn. So you could get the 80% version from a JP amper. For example, Leftia in the current game, Leftia can amp Skye single target by 80% for her jump for fire. It's the wrong element, but technically speaking, she can amp her by fire because her amps are, like I said, 3, 2, 1 descending. So the 2 turn 80% will still be there on the final turn. She just won't get the final 100% step.
Okay. So maybe if we get, like, there was some heavy copium in Discord before, but maybe we get some of the other crowns for these ampers. Like, who is the
biggest
win?
problem?
Like, is it Frisia? Has she gotten upgrades yet in JP?
No. There's currently no one does 100% wind amp externally. Oh,
right.
actually, no. I'm sorry. The Creel that just came out does 100 wind. Literally just came out in JP.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Maybe we're gonna get like Bulwark intrinsics, and he's gonna do 100% wind. Because I guess like Bulwark is then your best option. Oh wait, he can't do 60% in DV, right?
Correct. The best amp is Skye herself. Skye herself buffs wind by 50, just all around.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, but still irrelevant, right? Because she's actually going to do a fuck ton of damage, even with just Kimari's pendant. If you score that, and you of course already have Ricard, right? You're going to do some really good damage with Skye. I mean, she's going to be ending up on top teams probably.
Yes and no. So here's the problem here. Okay. Yes, technically speaking, absolutely. At this current point in time, right now, yes. The problem is, right now, we're in Vision World. When Vision World's in, it's going to be like a minimum of a month before the next Dark Visions. Vision World is easy to cap. You don't need this kind of power for Vision World. So you're going to be like risking pulling a unit like the Kimari STMR for Skye to use today, which today is decent. The earliest time you're ever going to use this is at the earliest a month from now, potentially even longer if they delay the next Dark Visions or they do a collaboration Vision World next. Again, easy to cap.
Yeah.
So you're risking pulling for something that is decent right now is going to be behind the curve in a month, going to be forgotten in 2 to 3 months. So you're really never going to use this until
Uh,
it's already falling out of the meta.
but that
That's
doesn't
the
sound
problem.
like true because I still feel that your calc showed Skye doing JP meta levels damage with just Riku's piece as well. So like if you get Kimari's piece and Riku's piece, Skye is probably in your team for like a good couple of months forward, right?
All right, let's see. So Skye, by my calculations, the one you're talking about,
Yep.
she does 31 billion with the full package, everything.
Right.
Compared to the current top in JP, which is Cloud, does 47. So she does about 60% of the top.
Oh, okay.
But then of course, you've got down from there. So she's definitely strong for sure. But
Okay. So maybe not as strong as I maybe copiumed myself into believing. But still,
now
being able
now
to use Skye is nice.
well, what you may have been looking at on that same sheet you're talking about is Skye is above multiple upcoming JP units like Van Harma, Riku, Saiton, the Crowned, Tyvis, Dark Knight Pain, Ingas. Like she's better than all these JP units, but that's because JP units are shit.
Yeah, okay. Well, and Cloud, of course. But on the other hand, also as a counterpoint, I feel that maybe Cloud brought the next shelf
He
of
did.
power creep. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very hard to compare with that. Like, I mean, if you look at it this way, if you're lucky, you pull Kimari today, or not today, but like, Thursday, and then you get Riku 2 weeks from now, you're going to have a unit that might actually be top 3 DPS for at least a month or two. That's still not a bad trade though.
It is true, and
I mean,
as
given the
much
fact that Skye has been fucking around forever already, like in Clash of Wills, so
that is true, and I do want to also say, as much as I'm downplaying this, is because I don't want people to go into this blindly chasing, thinking it's like the next meta god tier unit. I myself probably will use some tickets to get this STMR. I will probably use some tickets trying to get Riku's STMR. It is powerful. It is good. Just go into it with your eyes open and realize there's a potential it's power crept before it really carries a team.
right,
It may
right.
not be though, so we
I
don't
think
know.
that's a good warning. I think that's a good warning. So just another question to the crystal ball of JP. Um, are there any other jumpers upcoming that would also like Kimari's STMR?
Ooh, by memory, let me open my cheat sheet for JP real quick. Who is upcoming? Edgar is a jumper. I think Edgar is the only Dragoon upcoming, and he's bad. So
Yeah. Listen, that hurts my heart, but I'm gonna pull anyway. But yeah, okay, okay, all right. So that's good. Like for those of you that actually want to save, you can safely save. This is not gonna be groundbreaking at all. So that's good. I think your way of doing it, Sinzar, just throwing a couple of tickets, sounds pretty decent to me. Like if luck would have it, you get it and it's nice. It's also a pretty decent accessory. It's another 80 magic accessory, which is nice. Sorry, 80 attack accessory. So that's always nice to have, unless you have like 15 Tifa STMRs.
I feel
Oh,
called out.
yeah, it's like same here. I have too many, but it's okay. Um, Okay, so but let's move on from Kimari. I think we've spent we've spent what little could be said about him for far too long. Uh, so Yunaleska then is now a NVA SLB unit, and how is she? Oh, she does evocation damage on her SLB. Is she good?
She does a 540x modifier evocation
Wait,
SLB.
what?
Oh yeah, 540x evocation modifier. So Terra, for comparison, has an 80.
Wait,
She
wait.
has
What's the catch?
540.
Like, there has to be
It,
a catch. What's the catch?
it is unimbuable, non-elemental.
Oh, motherfucker. Of course there was a catch. Okay. All right. All right. So when are we going to use this?
Never, because bosses have non-elemental resistance, meaning they have an unimpairable something like 80 to 90% resistance to non-elemental. So this is more like, considering you can't amplify it, you can't imperil it, you're getting a like 80 to 90% damage penalty on it. This is something more like a 30x modifier LB.
Yeah.
In the end, it's
Is
garbage. It is completely worthless.
But the direction for non-elemental damage has been really weird in this game. Like, why did they also, on top of that, have to add that non-elemental damage is always hugely resisted by bosses? It's like 80% or some shit.
Yes,
Like,
that is the stupid thing, because back in the day, bosses like the Iron Giant and all the trials and stuff, they had zero non-elemental resistance. It was fine. You could go for the proper element and then deal damage, or you go non-elemental, you deal less damage because you couldn't imperil it, you couldn't amplify it, and you spark chaining. It would build the chain faster for non-elemental chaining, but it was still an option.
yeah.
And then they went and go and neutered it by making him 90% resistance. That is just, what is the point? I don't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it.
yeah, I don't get it. Because like, again, elemental damage is much, much stronger already. Like, you're going to have your imperils on there. You're going to have your amps on there. The chains are going to build faster. You're going to get the chain mod faster. So, elemental damage is far superior. There's fields for elemental damage, even. So it's going to do a lot more damage already. Why are we also shitting on non-elemental? Because non-elemental did have a place for various types of clears. It's just a shame. I don't know. We shouldn't delve too much into it, but it's weird that happened. Honestly, that non-elemental was kind of nerfed into the ground.
Yes, and I guess I should put it out there for the person in the comments that's going to be like, actually, um, yes, there is the once in a blue moon Dark Visions boss that is specifically weak to non-elemental. For example, Zabel Fair and the Legend of Mana Vision World. You remember the little three-headed goblin face
Yeah,
guy?
yeah,
He was specifically weak. He took bonus damage from non-elemental. So yes, once per 3 months, you'll get a random boss that'll be weak to non-elemental, and on those bosses, sure, Yunaleska will probably deal a trillion damage. The problem is those are never the final boss, and the final bosses are all that matters, and the earlier bosses are easy to cap anyway. So it's like, what's the point?
yeah, yeah. But still, it's so weird because I still remember. You remember like Trans Terra when she came out, or even the Terras before her. Did that was the thing? They did non-elemental magic damage that was very high damage, but again non-elemental. And I don't know, maybe this it had its niche, like it had its use. So maybe that nerf was just like I don't know. It was just weird. It was just really weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Yunaleska is nice. Hopefully, we're getting some of the free ones because her STMR is one of the must-haves for evokers. So that's
There,
nice for people. Yeah.
there. I love you. I love you. I love how I just went on like a 10-minute rant about how bad Yunaleska is, and then you immediately followed up. Well, Yunaleska's nice.
Well, I mean, her SDMR is a best in slot item for evokers, all right? If you're going to be using fucking Yuna, you're not going to be using her without her Yunaleska's SDMR, okay? There is a silver lining. All I'm saying is there's a silver lining in everything, okay?
Yes, the SPMR is quite nice.
Yeah, it is, it is, it is. The rest of the unit sucks ass, but okay. I mean, you might bring her at some point, as you said. Like if there's a non-elemental weak boss, you might bring her for the memes. But like even then, you're probably gonna have stronger units anyway. So yeah. Okay, and then finally we have the Poppy NVA. Poppy is one of those weird units that we never got on time in GL, so she never got like the fan base and power that she got in JP, where she was really strong on release. So should we care about this NVA? Like it looks like she becomes a pen peacock type thing in her Brave. I don't know. It looks really fucking weird. What's going on
Uh,
here?
she basically has her old kit, which is relatively the same. She got one or two new buffs. She now has permanent triple cast, which is convenient because in your old kit you had to unlock her for like one turn. Um, so she's definitely a lot better at what she does, which is imbues three elements, imperils them, does small amplifies for them. She got a better stat buff, a better LB buff. So overall, she became better at what she does. And then in her shift form, she can single target 60% amplify for her elements. So
Oh,
that's okay. I don't know.
Well,
It's
what's the duration? Like, can you multicast that shit, or is it a
no,
CD?
no. You cannot. It's a cooldown. You can't multicast it, and it's a trance shift, meaning once per 4 turns for 2 turns, she can single target amp a single person by 60%.
Okay,
It's
okay.
incredibly limited. It's really the only time that I could possibly recommend this is for one of those slot compression strategies. For example, Balthier, Regina, the run to Typhus strategy, something like that, where you're doing like a kind of like a multiple party slot focused into one unit. Then giving that one unit a 60% amplify is maybe worth the party slot.
Yeah, maybe you just don't have a source for a better amp, and then you just go with
Mm-hmm.
it. So yeah, okay, interesting, interesting. I guess like just making her NVA isn't that bad. You might be able to use her at some point. Although I still feel like her sprite is really weird. I'm still trying to figure like is she actually taking a shit in a treasure chest? Is that what I'm looking at here? Because like
Um, I've never really looked at her shift
Because,
sprite,
like,
but
honestly, it looks like she's pooping in a treasure chest, but there's, like, she also has a peacock fan of, like, brushes and pens coming out of her ass. I don't know. Like, okay, listen, like, people just look at it for yourselves. I can't describe this shit.
it definitely looks weird.
It does look weird. Okay, okay, but let's move on. So disappointing units a bit all across, and we have also a raid event. So this was actually pushed. This was the event that was pushed back, right? We were supposed to have this the previous week, right?
Yes, this raid came with the Ject banner in JP, but because of the whole Facebook compensation, they had to extend the raid, and I don't think it's possible to run 2 raids at once in the game.
Mm,
So they had to push this raid back and give us Vision World early, which I prefer anyway. That we
yeah,
have more Vision World timing, so that's fine with me.
definitely. Nice. Yep, it's just a standard raid. Nothing weird. We're getting an event called Isaru's Aeons. Is that anything worthy of attention?
It's an exploration. So this is when explorations began to came back in the JP server. Uh,
Oh.
they still don't do them for the actual real story of the game, but quite a few events going forward are going to have literal exploration. So this one is when Yuna gets sent to the dungeon after the wedding scene. You
Oof.
remember
The
that? And
sex
then
dungeon.
it's pretty much, yeah. And you got to do the exploration. These explorations usually have puzzles in them, and I mean, I don't want to say they're hard puzzles, but if you don't look up a guide and you've never played the game, you could be kind of like stumped of how to solve the puzzle. So if you want to, basically go to the wiki or go to the Reddit, it'll tell you how to do the exploration. But it's not hard. But for a player that literally has never done the game, it might confuse them. I don't know.
But I love this trend though, because I remember saying a long, long time ago that some of my favorite expeditions or explorations was when we got them in collabs and we were actually running around in environments that were very well made and similar to the original game. I thought that was
Yes.
actually really cool. I'm very happy that format ish is kind of coming back here, and I can't wait to do this fucking stupid sphere puzzle again. Yeah, that was so much fun the first time.
You remember that puzzle? The little rotating arrows and the teleporter slams around to break the gate and all. Yep, that same puzzle is faithfully recreated in the Brave Exvius
I'm
exploration.
so happy they took some of the best parts of Final Fantasy X and recreated it. I can't wait to relive all these memories and nostalgia. Oof. Okay, okay, but that's like I still think that's nice. That's like a nice touch, Like like for instance, if it happens in Final Fantasy VI, I'm gonna be over the moon for exploring Final Fantasy VI environments. But even if it doesn't, like Final Fantasy X is also amazing. But then we also are getting another actual trial, another of the 12 types takedown, Rafflesia. So this is a flower, a plant.
Yes, the plant trial. This one I would say is either the hardest or the second hardest of all 12.
Wow.
I have never beaten this on the JP server. Haven't beaten
Oh
it.
my god, that sounds like a challenge. So like day one of the release, you need to release a video of beating this trial. Although on GL, it should probably be
Yeah,
easier, right?
yeah, I have a feeling on GL we're not going to have too many problems with it. But on the JP server, because all the units are just elementally locked garbage, I didn't have the right elements for it, and I couldn't beat it. 'Cause
Oh.
the problem is the boss heals. That's why. So you need a certain level of DPS to outdo the healing, and I just couldn't do it on the JP server. On global, We've got Chizuru. Chizuru has 250 plant killer as a buff, and she maxes out
She's gonna
plant killer.
fucking destroy this.
Yeah. It's weak to wind. That's her element. So
Oh, okay.
it's Chizuru.
Even better. Yeah. You just bring Chizuru and fucking destroy it. Okay, nice. So it's a 12-turn limit. How tight is it gonna be? Like, do you have any thoughts?
It's 12 turns for the easy mode, that's actually very easy. It's
Okay.
The hard mode is 15 turn limit.
Oh, okay. 15 turns. So again, like, we have a bit more power. You can bring Chizuru, who's going to be easy to gear, even for like Chizuru is fucking easy always to gear. I don't know what to put in her materia slots. That's my biggest problem with Chizuru, because like she's done and she has like 1 or 2 slots left. I'm so happy I have like GF Sense and fucking Titus STMR, Dream of the Fate, because like I don't know what I would put in there otherwise.
So the problem with this trial, though, it's not really that it's dangerous or anything. It's that, do you remember the Zargabath fight we had on Final Fantasy 12 very recently, where it had like crazy fire resist and immune to everything else?
Yep.
It's the same concept. This has immune to basically everything except wind and earth, and its wind and earth are 230% based on the JP server.
Ooh.
So that's why it's so hard. You basically kind of have to have Neovision's Emperor on top of Neovision's Mog. Not Neovision's Mog, I wish. The 7-star Mog that does the wind in peril field. And that stacks with Emperor's 160 in peril.
Can I still bring Emperor to this? Because I would love to fucking use this unit that has been haunting me ever since his banner.
You basically have to get a 15 turn clear in. On JP, on global, we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, even on global, I think it's gonna be a benefit, because he's still gonna bring the much bigger imperil for Chizuru, and has a small amount of damage that he can contribute with. Technically, yeah. I mean, let's see. It's still like that's the thing that the people sometimes don't realize. But when the resistances are that high, even a small increase in imperil, like a 10 or 20%, can actually mean a double damage modifier, because you're going from like the boss has 90% resistances to 80% resistances, and that's actually double damage. So that's something that needs to be thought about. So maybe we're also going to be bringing Mog to this event, like Mog and Emperor and Chizuru.
Exactly.
So anything you can tell us about survival? Like, do we need to do anything special here? Like any special type of tanking or anything?
Yes, the whole party needs charm immunity. The boss does all the ailments. The boss basically drains nearly all your mana every single turn.
Oh.
The boss also does AoE death, so the whole party needs death immunity.
Oh.
He does tons of water damage and also 600% water in peril. So you want your tank to be as close to 700% water resist as possible.
Jesus.
Also, it's that all sounds really bad. It's the summary of it is wear death immunity and bring a water immune tank. That's
Okay. Wear death immunity, water immune tank. Sounds easy enough, I guess. The charm immunity sounded a bit more difficult, although I guess like there is isn't the Lakshmi Esper, doesn't she have charm immunity?
You could buff that, or if you're bringing like an actual support unit, most of them can buff it. You could also just wear immunity, for example.
I thought charm immunity was rare. Maybe it isn't.
Oh, not really. No. You got so the whale version is Tifa's STMR, Crescent Charm, the earring.
Yep. Oh shit! I have like 6. That's a full party, bro.
Exactly. And the budget version is the 5-star Locks TMR Treasure Hunter, the materia. Gives 100% charm immunity in the material.
But hold on, so if you have that, you're not going to need an additional buff on top of that, right? Because
no, you just need charm immunity from some source, either buff or gear or just natural immunity. A whole bunch of units are just immune anyway.
Easy peasy. Okay. All right, I guess like gearing for 5 million water resistance might be a bit tough though, and I guess Spirit will still be important because it's magic damage. I thought you said.
It does have non-elemental magic damage as well. Your tank does need some bulk. As long as you're bringing a good breaker, it's not going to be too bad as long as you're wearing water resist.
Are there any passive stats? Like, could you like?
No.
Okay, fuck. Because I was gonna say, could you say Emperor is a good breaker? But then no.
Oh no. Emperor's totally fine. If you've got Emperor keep in mind, Emperor can only maintain his good breaks at EX3. If you're below EX3, his attack and magic break is not included on the regular LB, and it's only a 3-turn duration. So he can only maintain full uptime of the good breaks at EX3. That being said, you can equip the other things like Tulian's TMR, Reagan Returns team, all these Breaker 85 cooldowns. You can give him 2 of those, and they'll have full uptime, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Actually, you give him 2 of the breaker TMRs like Dark and Earth or some shit, and then you also
Mhm.
okay, that's hilarious. Actually, it's also a bit stupid that it works like that because I've been cursed with Emperors or blessed, depends on how you see it. But I have an EX2 one with 100 out of 200, but that's still a ways off from fucking EX3. So having him as a dedicated breaker is difficult. Is it the same with the Imperil? It is, right? Like the Imperil is also only full uptime if he's EX3.
Uh, no, because that's an offensive break. Those last +1 turn. So
Oh, of
at
course.
EX2, that is full uptime at EX2. At EX1, it won't be.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah. All right, very interesting fight. I'm probably going to be using this opportunity to bring Ash to another trial because I really, really like that unit, I've realized. So that's going to be good, and I guess she has enough spirit to tank this shit.
She is going to be the MVP. Remember how I said Rafflesia was one of 2 of the hardest trials?
Yeah.
She will be the MVP on Catastrophe, the other one that is one
Oh,
of the hardest trials.
oh. By the way, I did want to ask this question. So you did say we're gonna get sucked off every turn, our mana. That is. How do we
Yes.
like? Are there any good any tips on dealing with that?
Um, Use units that just fill it passively. For example, Folka, if you really want to. Obviously, she's not good for the turn speed mission, but just for like the players that just want to get a clear in.
Yeah.
Folka passively refills it every turn. Also, my plan is counter Chow. Chow's going to be countering with like
Fucking
high web
Chow.
resist, but not immunity. He's going to counter to full. Sylvie, I see in the chat someone saying Sylvie. Sylvie, unfortunately, will not be countering because all the magic is going to be covered. Sylvie, there's nothing for Sylvie to counter because Sylvie's never going to get hit. So Sylvie won't work.
Oh shit.
But you could use Sylvie's I forget what it's called, the Compassionate Knight every single turn, which fills your MP by 20%, which is enough for the turn. So yes, Sylvie could refill it every turn, but not by counter for the chat.
Yeah, and then that's also a slot because in this trial, Sylvie is not going to do anything else than refill your mana, I guess. Well, and resistances, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, oh, and the LB buff. Okay, Sylvie is just too strong of a unit because she's also going to be LB buffing her Chizuru. So yeah, there's that. Okay, but interesting. That's going to be interesting to deal with, I guess, to figure out how to actually do that. God damn it, I think Chow is too strong. Like they need to do something about Chow. I really do. Like they need to do something about it. Okay, well, I guess that's it for this week, right? We don't have anything else, really?
Um, I think pretty much it. There was news that this coming Sunday is going to be another live stream by Tony and Justin. So if you want to tune in for that.
Yeah, they're probably going to announce end of service for the game.
I hope not, but it's possible, I guess.
No, God, no. I really hope not. Like, I have nothing. I have nothing except for FFBE, okay? If this goes away, I don't know who the fuck I am anymore. I don't know. Okay, thanks for chilling this week, Sinzar.
Indeed.
Have a great one. Bye, everyone.
Later.